Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to take you through the DKNY Be Delicious range of perfumes. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel. It's all about perfumes, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to have new perfume content every week and just live in the world of perfume like me. So just a caveat, there are a lot of perfumes in this video, so this is not going to be short. So grab a cup of tea, grab a drink, and I'll take you through all the ones that I have found still being sold somewhere in the Be Delicious range. There are ones that have come and gone that I haven't been able to find, so I'm not including them because I just don't think there's any point if we're never going to be able to buy them again. So I have about 30. I think in total there must be maybe 50 that have been and gone, but I'm just gonna, I think 30 is plenty. So and I'll try and be as quick as possible, but let's crack into it. So first of all, the original Be Delicious from DKNY looks like an apple, smells like an apple. It's like the ultimate Granny Smith green apple perfume. They put a fair amount of cucumber in there as well, which makes it quite fresh and light and airy. There's also citrusy lemon, and then there's a couple of floral notes and wood in the base, like quite a lot of notes in this, but the dominant smell is that green Granny Smith apple, as in Donna Karan, New York, the big apple. This is your apple perfume. It also comes in an eau de toilette version, which is not as strong, and this is more like a red apple than a green apple. And instead of using like citrus and cucumber, they use grapefruit. So it's lighter, fresher, maybe a little bit sharper, but then softer with that red apple rather than the hit of the Granny Smith. There's also an intense version of the original, which is probably my favorite. This doesn't have the cucumber in, so it's like even stronger dominance of that green apple. It's got a fair bit of magnolia in, it's got grapefruit in, so it just feels like a heavier version of the original. And because the original is quite light, I think it's nice to have the intense version, so you really do get that appliness for a few hours. There's also a Be Delicious crystallized version of the original, which brings out the floral notes that are in there. So along with the apple, you get lily of the valley coming through. There's tuberose, there's a bit of violet, and then you get the cucumber and the citrus notes. So it's a little bit softer and more floral version of the original. There's also sparkling apple version of the original, which has, along with the apple as the main note, has like watermelon in. So I find this to be more like tropical holiday version. It's got red currant in and amber and those woody base notes with the same sort of floral notes, but the watermelon makes it a bit fun, fruity, summery. There's then some that don't come in that apple shaped bottle. So Be Delicious Charmingly Delicious is basically like a pure apple fragrance. All it is apple, lemon and grapefruit. That's all it is to it. And it basically just smells like apple. So if you just really want like a pure apple-y smell, this is the one for you. They also have Be Delicious Picnic in the Park, which again is like pure apple, but rather than those grapefruity, zesty notes, they've put like fruity notes in. So it's like orange and summer fruits, but again, it really is dominated by the green apples. So they're just slight hints of fruity underneath. Really nice, good for summer. So that's the end of the like green Be Delicious variations. We can now go on to the Fresh Blossom family in the Be Delicious range. Now this is red apple rather than green apple, and this has quite a dominant rose in it, and lily of the valley's here as well. So it's basically like a more floral blossomy version of the original, and then the apple, rather than being that sharp Granny Smith, is the soft red apple that sort of moves in with all those floral notes and that rose. So it's a much more maybe feminine version, like flowery version, prettier version of the original. Again, there is a crystallized version of this, which has the red and the green apple notes in. It's got some apricots and some like aquatic-y notes. So again, it is more like a tropical, fresher version of the original Blossom. There is a Fresh Blossom Intense version as well. Interestingly, this doesn't have those appley notes in. It's basically all just the rose with some woody notes in the base, a little bit of lily of the valley, but this is like one of the few Be Delicious perfumes that doesn't have apple in. It really is like blossom rose. We also have fresh blossom juiced, which again doesn't have the actual apple notes in, instead it has apple blossom, the rose and the lily of the valley, so maybe like a slightly fresher version but still like much more floral than what we're used to from Be Delicious. And then finally in the fresh blossom range we have fresh blossom sparkling. So this sparkling apple version has some lovely pear in it, so it's quite soft but fruity sweet. They've got gardenia, wood, amber and that appley greeny appleness in it this time. So this one is very much like sweety floral, good for maybe spring. So we'll move on to Golden Delicious. So the original Golden Delicious Eau de Parfum is red apple. Lily of the Valley is back again along with that normal lily, and then there's some plum notes in. It's not too dissimilar to the Blossom Fresh version, but it does have some more woody notes in and musky notes perhaps, maybe a bit stronger. Again, you've got an intense version which has much more lily and the red apple is stronger. So moving on to Delicious Night, this actually has incense in, but it's also got like a syrupy blackcurrant note in. It's got ginger and patchouli. So this is a deep, intense, as the name would suggest, nice way to get the fragrance, but in a very like deep, dark, night way. So moving on to DKNY Be Tempted, this is like a red berry. Again, there's not that much apple here. You're mainly getting a red berry and then they've put quite a bit of vanilla in, which really helps with longevity, makes it like sweeter and gourmand, but not like sugar sweet, vanilla sweet. But what really sets this apart from the others is it's got licorice in, and I know that's a bit of a Marmite like love-hate type fragrance note, but if the licorice does come through, it's not super strong, but you can tell it's there. So next we have Be Tempted Oh So Blush, which really doesn't have much in common with Be Tempted. So this is all peony, magnolia, blood orange, citrus note, apricot, red currant. So really fresh floral from the peony, and then those citrusy, blood orangey notes make this again really fresh. So this is a light, fresh summer, think like a Marc Jacobs Daisy type smell. So moving on to Be Desired, this has a lot of mint in with the citrusiness, and it also has violet leaf. There's some orangey notes and some blackcurrant notes that make it slightly sweet fruity, but that mint really again differentiates it, and for me this is like the mint one in the range. So moving on to Red Delicious, so this has got loads of the green apple in, but it's kind of sweeter than Be Delicious because it's got raspberry as its other main note. It's got lychee, it's got rose, and then it's got a suede, patchouli, amber, vanilla base. So it's more intense than Be Delicious. Red Delicious more intense, but that sweetness of the raspberry also makes it like a sweet intense as well. I really like this, definitely one of my favorites. You can also get Red Delicious Charmingly Delicious, which is red apple but with the vanilla, so it's echoing the vanilla of the Red Delicious original. A little bit of violet leaf and rose, predominantly red apple and vanilla. So moving on to the Delicious Delights range. First of all, Delicious Delights Dreamsicle. These are all quite sweet, as you can see from the colouring of the branding and the name. These are like sweet versions. So this is basically like a peach and apricot sorbet, those like summer sorbet notes with those peachy apricot-y fruitiness, sweet, young, summer. Imagine walking through Central Park with a apricot sorbet. We then have Delicious Delights Cool Swirl, which is like a tropical coconut sorbet with pistachio in as well, so really different to all the other Be Deliciouses. Good and unusual to get it with pistachio and coconut, so it kind of has that tropical vibes but quite deep. Alright for lasting actually, because those notes really help sustain the smell. And then we have Delicious Delights Fruity Rooty, which is a blackberry and blueberry sorbet. So you've got those fruits of the forest types, sweet sorbet, syrupiness. Again, really lovely, I really like it, and different again to everything else. So moving on to the Sweet Delicious range. First we have Tart Key Lime. Now this is like a candied lime. It is like key lime pie. It's got that tart sourness to the lime. Again, unusual. I love lime and I love sour notes. So this is like a really nice version on the original. There's a wee bit of orange in the base, which helps make it like really zesty and warm, but the tart key limeness is unusual and fun. We then have Sweet Delicious Pink Macaroon, which basically smells like marzipan. There's some kumquat, peach, kind of like sweet notes, but it really, marzipan dominates, and you know, not what you would expect from a Be Delicious perfume, but yeah, it's sweet, it's marzipan. And then finally, to end with the Be Delicious City Blossom range, we have City Blossom Rooftop Peony. So this is, you know, New York Sky Garden with peonies. Peony, rose, apple blossom, echoes of those Be Delicious blush that we mentioned a while ago, but then some fruity lime, orange, raspberry notes underneath. So like a fresh spring day in New York. You've then got City Blossom Urban Violet, which is the violet offering. So people who like violets think Parma violets, but lighter. This is what you get from this one. And then finally we have Be Delicious City Blossom Empire Apple. And this is like going full circle. This is quite like the original. It's apple and cucumber, grapefruit, lily of the valley. Very, very much like the original. So that's my rundown of all the Be Delicious perfumes. They're all linked down below if you want to check them out. Let me know if you've worn any of these over the years or if you've tried them. I'd love to know what you think of the range. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if it was helpful and subscribe for more of the same. But that's it, so thanks so much for watching and I'll see you again soon.